You sound like a little angry troll. I'm like, I fucking hate this and that. What's up, bitches? Welcome back to Drinks After Work with your hosts, Shannen and Abby, where we give you that after work happy hour energy, baby. Talk about everything other than work. Do you like that? Took me like 3 tries.
You just blew up your own spot.
Yeah.
Wait, you have lipstick on your teeth.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. Is it still there?
No.
Shit.
Okay.
So we literally took a week off and we forgot how to podcast. We were sitting here and Abby's like, do our regular intro. I was like, I don't remember. I had to like go back in my notes. I was like, what do I say?
What do I say? We also forgot how to act. So if this podcast sucks, we're not sorry in advance.
It's fine. We're okay. This is like more of a therapy session. We've had a crazy past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's been insane. And I think we just needed to sit down and chat. We also haven't seen a lot of each other at all.
I haven't seen you since way before the 4th.
We went to that event, the Deep Eddies event.
Shout out to the Broadway for inviting us to their launch of the Deep Eddy lime vodka. It was actually wicked good.
It was so good.
Like when we showed up, they handed us a straight shot. And I took it and they were like, that's literally just vodka.
It was
and I was
really
like,
good.
Excuse me? I didn't even gag.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
Shut up.
You're not doing it with me. We were doing it before.
Yeah.
But
literally our listeners went from like 5 to like 0.
we were like, Peter, could we just start it off and just be like, yeah? And he literally looks at us and was like, yeah, that would be great. And we were like,
I was like, no, you have to say it'll be great.
he hates us. Okay.
Peter, can you confirm?
Anyways, can you confirm,
You hate
Peter?
us?
Peter.
I can confirm I said that.
Good answer. Good answer.
So we went to the Deep Eddies event and then Abby left me. She went to Chicago with Chi-Town with her little man
Of the mystery.
Her little man of mystery.
Yeah, that was I had never been, and I'm honestly so glad that we got out because after Memorial Day, it rained all weekend on Memorial Day, and it rained all weekend here and for the 4th, didn't it?
Yeah, like literally it rained all weekend up until like Sunday was kind of, it was fine. Like it was like in the 60s. We still managed to like get out there and day drink, but it wasn't like a beautiful sunny day. The day that was the most beautiful was Monday when everyone was going home. It was like 85 and sunny. It was classic.
I know. The first 2 days in Chicago were like in the 70s and like the nights were kind of cold, but then we were there for 4 nights, 5 days, and the last 3 days were just in the 80s, 90s and just sweating profusely.
Did you guys go swimming?
No, we went paddleboarding.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember if you guys were like gonna go swimming.
We went on like 2 different boat things, and then like we did like a sunset one, and then we did like a daytime one, and then we did paddleboarding. But I did not go in that. I'm like afraid to go in like a man-made lake.
Well, because of the dirt or the whatever.
I just feel like it's dirty. I don't know.
Okay. Even though it's that big, like Lake Michigan, it's so big.
But like we were in the parts where like there's a bunch of like boats. Like I don't want to like swim with like boat oil or gas, whatever it is. I don't know.
Boat oil and gas. Yeah,
Mr. Man jumped in like it was nothing. So he'll probably have like a 3rd head and like, or no, two heads. And yeah, maybe 2 or 3 heads.
You already have 2. Literally. Classic. No, honestly, I missed you though. I like thought about you.
Really?
Yeah, I thought about you halfway through the weekend. It took me a few days.
Wait, what? I was just gonna say.
I was like, I feel like on day 1 and 2, I was like, okay, I can get used to this. And then I feel like by day 3, I was like, shit, I miss her.
That's the nicest thing you've ever said.
I know, but that's why I texted you. I was like, I hope you're having fun. I feel like that's like out of character.
I don't remember that. I don't recall that.
Maybe I thought
maybe you thought it.
Maybe I thought I texted.
I think you texted me that after I'd already been back.
Oh, okay. I feel like sometimes
fun.
I intend to text people, but I'm a bad texter, and it never happens. So I'm like, oh my god, I had this great conversation with that person, and they're like, you haven't reached out to me in 2 years.
But okay, I didn't know. Like, I probably should have watched like Chicago PD or something before I went because I'm not kidding. There was 108 shootings while we were there.
That's insane.
In Chicago. And
That's scary.
luckily enough, they were all 20 minutes south of us.
Right.
But there was one that was 0.4 miles from the hotel we were staying at, and literally, I'm not even kidding, you can see it on TikTok or just Google it. There were people in the city literally a half a mile away from where we had walked there earlier that day. During the day, there was people twerking on cop cars and throwing fireworks at the police.
Wait, launching fireworks
yes
at them?
And
crazy.
So the police had to break it up because everyone was just going batshit crazy. And then by 10, literally we were back at our hotel by 10 p.m. on the 4th because they literally announced they had cops driving by with speakers saying that there was a 10 p.m. curfew.
What?
Because people were losing their freaking mind.
Oh wow, I didn't know
I don't think people actually listened. They definitely cleared out the river walk, but obviously people are still out and about. But at that point I was no, we're going back to the hotel. I don't want to no. I was kind of scared, not gonna lie.
That's crazy. What was your favorite, because I know you had a huge itinerary written down of things you wanted to do. What was your favorite places? Wait, so actually, as a funny aside, I'm going to Chicago in August with Michael, and we booked, so Michael and I booked a trip to Chicago. I got it for him for his birthday, whatever. We find this hotel. We're so cute. Let's go to this hotel. We don't tell Abby or Mystery Man. They end up booking a trip to Chicago to go before us and book the same hotel. Out of
so weird.
Every hotel in Chicago, what are the chances we'd both go to the same place?
We just had that telepathy.
Telepathy.
No, it was a really nice hotel. You're gonna like it.
The London House. I know
Yeah.
the roof deck is dope.
It's dope, but it's kind of overrated.
Really, I've been there before though for business. I thought it was sick.
No, it's dope, but you can see the same view at a million other restaurants.
True.
And
Yeah.
we didn't have a reservation to go there. We just walked up one day, during lunch, and they were able to sit us down.
Oh, that's sick. What was your favorite? Where would you recommend?
Definitely Beatnik on the River.
Yeah.
That one we had the best sangria. Meal was amazing. It was tapas style. And it was obviously on the river, but the vibes there were immaculate. I don't know. Oh, where was it? Hubbard Inn.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone is in Chicago or going, you have to go to Hubbard Inn and go to the Blue Violet room on the second floor. We went for happy hour because we couldn't get a reservation later, or the only time they could, we had a boat reservation already, so we went from happy hour from 5 to 6:30 because I think our boat was at 7, and it's the most aesthetically pleasing room ever, and the drinks are amazing. The food's but who even cares because you're
I feel when you're going on vacation, you're not really gonna eat if you have any self-respect.
No, we had some good meals, but I wasn't completely blown away by the food. The restaurants were amazing and the drinks were good, but there wasn't a meal where I was oh my god, this is amazing. Other than really,
I feel you're not a big deep dish pizza gal.
Oh, I didn't even have it once while we were there. I don't like deep dish. You're absolutely right.
I know.
But the 4th was fun and at the lake.
Yeah, I was honestly though, it was I got thrown into a sickness by the. It was
you
25.
got what I had.
Yeah, 25 people. We got there. So I got there on Thursday night or Friday, and I don't even know. I get there at 8:45. They were we have a party bus coming at 9.
Oh shit.
So we get there, and Caitlin, her little brother, decides he's gonna book the party bus, and we're thinking nothing of it, cute, fun, whatever, dope. He's I call this company looking to commandeer a party bus, and they're okay, awesome. Do you want a PG party bus or a mature party bus? And we were
what?
And he was I guess a mature party bus. I don't know. This dude pulls up in a party bus right when the clock strikes 9 p.m. We get inside. It is covered in Playboy photos, everywhere, all over. The man driving this bus is 80 years old.
Oh.
It's basically kind of a makeshift school bus, and it's covered in Playboy photos, and then he proceeds to put on adult film style videos in the bus. We're what the hell is going on? He's blasting music, and we're going to this random ass, we're going to the bars on Winnipesaukee, which are in the weirdest beach area, probably a 15 to 20 minute ride. It was the most bizarre experience of my life. I was what are we doing? We got there, we went into the bar, we got kicked out of the bar.
Classic.
The girl came up to me.
I don't think we've ever gone to like a not gotten kicked out of a bar.
Yeah, the woman, the bouncer came up to me and was like, you're out of here. Like, you gotta go. And I was like,
Were
why?
you sloppy?
No,
Or were you just
I was
being, like,
standing there
fun?
having a conversation. Like, you know me. Like, I know when I'm not in a good space. And she was like, you need to leave. And I was like, why? She was like, you're intoxicated. I was like, I am not.
Isn't that the
And I was like, I was literally like, I wish I was intoxicated, but I'm not. So like Caitlin's brother goes up to her and is like, she's not, like, she's fine. Like, she's not drunk. If anyone should get kicked out, it's me. He ends up getting kicked out instead. I like talked my way out of it. I like complimented the waitress or the bouncer. I was like, has anyone told you have great boobs? She was like, excuse me. And I was like, has anyone ever told you that? And she was like, no. And she walked away. I was like, okay. But anyways, so Caitlin's little brother gets kicked out. We were like, shit. Literally all of us had to leave the bar with him.
You can't just leave him out there.
Yeah, but literally 3 to 4 days of just going out every single night, drinking all day. By the end of it, I was literally like a shell of a human being. And I was so terrified of my life. And I was like,
That's how you know you did it right.
I was like, literally like, by the end of it, I was like in a ball, like literally shaking like for dear life. It was like just too much. I just can't do that shit anymore.
Yeah, we're getting old.
So anyways, I got back and I literally like got so sick. I've like had a cold for 6 days since. That's why we haven't seen each other. I've been literally like on my deathbed.
Well, thank you for coming in
It's
to
not
me.
It's not COVID.
It's not.
And I feel perfectly fine right now, Peter.
Yeah. You know, I had the same sickness like right before her. And I got tested twice for COVID during my sickness.
And it wasn't. I don't know what it is.
It's just a cold.
It's a murky bug. It's creepy.
It's murky.
Wait, and then you had an open house, right?
Oh my God, yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
You opened up your house, your home.
Yeah, which I don't like to do really ever, but
she hates visitors. It's one of the things I love about her.
I just hate people. But yeah, so for those of you keeping score at home,
Abby's on her 15th set of roommates.
That's a bit of an exaggeration, but come September, this will be my 6th set. Yep. In the same apartment. And I, was like, all right, here we go again. Like, I'm a pro at this. Like, let me just fire out some Facebook posts. I posted in the Boston Baddies. I posted on our our Facebook group. I posted on normal Facebook groups. I posted on our story, my story,
Craigslist.
On Instagram. Nope, I stayed away from Craigslist. But the responses were overwhelming. Like, a lot of people reached out, and I was like, shit, I don't know how to handle this, and I also don't really want to like put in time and energy to welcome my home like 30 dozen times.
So you
and
had an open house.
Yeah. So I was like,
did you have like a charcuterie board?
Yeah, you know what's funny is that I was literally on the phone with my aunt and Nana earlier today, and like we were talking about it, and they're like, oh, like, did you offer them like something? Like they said like some food, and my Nana's like, no, she offered them champagne. Like, don't be silly. And I was like, I didn't offer them shit. Like, what do you mean? Like, if I were to offer anything, yes, it would be alcohol because that's on brand. But no, I literally was like, if you want to meet me in person and see the place in person, like come through this Sunday 10 to 12, I'll be there. Just I literally was like, the front door is open. I was like, the front door is open. Just come up to my floor. Like,
make yourself at home. Walk in. Take your pants off. Kick your shoes off. Wait, we have to talk about the funny comment that we got.
Oh my God! Yeah,
because you posted. Abby posted on our Instagram. Like of the place and was like, I'm having like an open house. Like, please reply back with like your preferred AC temp or like something a little high maintenance.
I said, if interested, please DM me with your age, occupation, and your preferred AC temp in the summer. Because I think that is a fair question. I think like you don't want to live like if you like your apartment to be 68 degrees and someone likes it to be 74 degrees.
You think that's a deal breaker though? Like if you really like the person.
Oh, have you ever lived with someone where you are literally fighting over thermostat and like constantly turning it up or down?
No.
Okay, so if you had, you would see where I'm coming from because I have lived with people like that.
Don't you just have a thermostat in your own room though? Like each person?
No, I don't have my own room. Like, what the fuck? No.
I thought that's usually how it works.
No. Sorry, I'm a peasant. I I have a Nest thermostat, but no, I don't have one in my own room. I have one thermostat for the entire apartment.
Fucking broke bitch.
Shit. I thought my Nest thermostat with my central air was good enough, but no. Get fucked.
Anyways.
So literally, okay, so I don't know if people understand this. We literally have like a business Instagram account, so we can see all the analytics of our posts, like of our Instagram posts and our stories. So I can like swipe over and swipe up and see how many people shared our story, how many people clicked on the links, how many people visit our profile after that. Like I can see everything. And I feel like most people don't realize that. And you don't check it.
I myself do not realize that.
Yeah, you don't check it, but I do. Like literally, I would say on our, because I shared it to my personal and a lot of people shared it on there too. But on ours, like 22 people shared that post. And like they sent it to a friend,
right?
Like via DM.
Okay.
Which is hilarious because I check our DM one morning, like I think it was like the next morning, and I see a DM from some girl, and it was like a message request because like we just have message requand I don't know, and we didn't
follow her.
Yeah, we don't follow her, and it goes, she looks mean. And literally, you just know this girl didn't mean to do that. Like, I think she meant to respond to her friend, but she responded to us instead. And
so obviously her friend sent her the post of you being like, I'm having an open house, and that girl replied back to what she thought was her friend.
I'm
saying
assuming
she looks mean,
literally
about you.
So yeah, so she sent it like at like 11 p.m. like the night prior, and so when I woke up that morning, it was like 8 a.m. and I like thumbsed it up. Like I like responded to the thing and I just like thumbsed it up so that she know that I saw it. And then literally I go back like an hour or two later, blocked. She blocked us.
That's so
The poor girl
funny.
doesn't realize though that before she had blocked me, I had already screenshotted her profile to send to you and like saw that we had like 9 mutual followers and like I know people that follow her and I'm like, bitch. Why do I look mean?
If I was her, I would have changed my Instagram name. It's the only thing. That's the only thing to do. That's so funny, though.
Let me know why I'm
Classic.
mean. Please unblock us.
I wonder if it's like,
do
you think it's the way you look or like something you said? Like, I wonder what it is.
I mean,
are there some people that just look mean?
I don't look mean. I don't think.
Slide into our DMs and let us know if you think Abby looks mean.
No, please don't. I'm sensitive. I may look like a bitch, but I'm really not. I cry over everything.
She has a tough exterior, but
I do. This is straight facts.
I'm like trying not to cough into this microphone.
Just cough in that direction, please. Just get it out. You'll
it's
feel
like my
better.
biggest fear.
No, you'll feel better.
Okay. So we've been talking lately about the COVID couples and not the couples that have COVID, the couples that got together during these times. So
During
a few
the quarantine.
episodes during quarantine, Abby and I were talking about the quarantine couples, the people that during COVID decided they were going to move in together, buy a puppy, get married, have 6 children. Not that you can do that in a year, but some have tried. All those people that just kind of like decided to hunker down, if you will, and whether or not they were going to make it. So we were saying like, obviously we can't generalize every relationship, but we do think that there's some people out there that likely won't make it because shit's gonna return to reality and people are gonna break up. So we have kind of like a little, I guess, update there. I feel like we're already starting to see things moving in that direction, right? And what is happening, Abby, that you think is caught? Like, what's like an indicator of that, like to you?
So I think you know when someone has ended a relationship when they start hitting you up again. And that could literally be like a guy hitting you up because he's recently single, or it could be a friend who, you know, like a girlfriend that you drifted apart with because she got into a relationship and she dropped you and she got into a relationship, and now that they're broken up, they're reaching back out.
You seem a little like personally victimized.
Yeah, I mean, this has been the weirdest week of my life. Literally, I've had 2 extremely close friends to me, like who I was no longer friends with, reach back out to me. And one of them literally just got out of a relationship. And I'm like, hello.
Where have you been?
Where have you been?
So these people like cut you out. How long were you guys like not talking for?
The one that got out of a relationship, like definitely like more than I would say. Like probably since like the summer. I don't know how long ago that was.
Yeah. Honestly, it's so weird. Like, I guess a year. It's weird though because I really feel like friend breakups are so similar to breakups with a boy.
I think they hurt more.
Yeah, it's just like a different type of hurt because it's straight up like they didn't, not that they didn't like your personality, but like they kind of didn't like your, like I feel like when you're dating
it's
a boy,
more personal almost.
Boys are kind of like dumb, so they could break up with you for like stupid reasons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Well,
it's like, oh, he was an asshole. But I feel like if your friend like ends your friendship, it's almost like, oh, like they didn't like me. They didn't like my personality.
Because when a guy breaks up with you, like you said, there could be a million reasons. It could be because your future goals in life don't line up. Like it could be something totally reasonable.
Or they like decided to cheat on you, or they decided to go date a girl that has like, you know, a bigger cup size and smaller waist size. Like who knows? But it kind of like those things. It's like, all right, like that makes sense.
Yeah, but when it's a girl, it's like, I mean, I feel like we've definitely both had our fair share of friend breakups, but I feel like me more than the average person. I feel like I like can't keep a friend.
Hence Abby's abandonment issues.
Literally, I'm like, stop leaving me. But yeah, I just think like, I mean, when this girl hit me up, I was obviously happy. I was like, oh, like I'm happy to be hearing from you, but like obviously a piece of me in the back of my head was like, are you just hitting me up because you're single now?
It's so frustrating because we've talked about friends before on the show, and it's always like the telltale signs of like you're friends with your friend, and she starts dating a guy that you may or may not like. Let's say you don't like him, and all of a sudden like she stops spending as much time with you, and she stops coming around to like the girls' trips, and she stops doing things, just the two of you, and like you're trying to like tell her like, yo, like you're kind of like only spending time with your boyfriend, and she gets like pissed at you, and she's like blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then she isolates herself.
It's how they react when you bring things up is
right.
How like, because like, I mean, I'll be the first to admit like Mystery Man and I spend a lot of time together, and I definitely could probably prioritize my girlfriends more. I'm just like still in that honeymoon stage, but it's like if you were to come to me and be like, Abby, like I miss you, I want to hang out, I wouldn't be like, what the fuck, like da da da.
Yeah.
But like I feel like when you bring these things up to a friend and they react poorly, it's kind of just like showing how much they maybe weren't a real friend to begin with.
Right, exactly. Like they're not a good friend or like a real friend to begin with. And also it's like it's so predictable because they're gonna get mad at you, and then they're gonna break off your friendship, and then they're gonna come crying back when they break up with the boyfriend, or the boyfriend breaks up with them, because they're gonna realize, oh my gosh, I'm all alone, I have no friends, what do I do? Mm-hmm. Like it always happens. It's like so cliche.
Yeah, I think it's tough though, because I could be like the biggest hypocrite ever, because I've literally had people being like, well, I didn't like your boyfriend and I didn't leave you and you don't like mine, so like we drifted apart because you didn't like my boyfriend. Because like there's also that side of it.
Yeah,
because like this friend that came back, like we stopped being friends because I didn't like her boyfriend.
Really?
And we kind of drifted apart because of it.
I'm trying to think if that's ever happened to me.
And like a piece of me is trying not to be like, I told you so. But at the same time, it's like, well, I want to be there for her.
Right.
Because it's like, I'm sorry that you're going through a breakup. Like obviously I didn't like him, but like, and I wouldn't wish like sadness on anyone, but like just because you're broken up, like why, you know?
Yeah, I know. It's like so tough because it's always the same girls that you're like trying, like that like are pushing everyone away and are being bitchy, are always the ones that like when they go through the breakup are kind of like, oh, like woe is me, and you feel this like obligation to be there for them. Yeah. And it's like so tough because you're like, are you a shitty person for not being there and for just cutting them off and being like, yo, you weren't there for me, I'm not gonna be there for you, and just like cutting ties? Or like, do you be there for them because they probably like have done the same shit to everyone else in their life, and like,
exactly,
you know what I mean? I think we wanted to just like talk about a few things that I feel like can help you determine like if you're in the situation right now, what your course of action might be, like whether or not you should give this person like a second chance or not.
Yeah, because I think just because someone wants to come back in your life doesn't mean you have to let them in.
No.
I feel like there are things you need to take into consideration and things you should like evaluate and like really think about and like sleep on before you like welcome them back in with open arms.
100%. I think the most important thing that you need to consider is yourself. Like, is this person toxic to you? So like, if I'm friends with someone and they whatever like ended our friendship or disappeared or whatever the hell happened, and they're now trying to come back into my life, like you have to think like when I had this person around 24/7 when we were best friends,
how did I feel around them?
Yes, like what was their presence like did they make me feel happy? Did we have fun together, or was it like super toxic and did they make me feel like shit? Because in the end of the day, if the answer is like, oh, they were super toxic to me even before this happened, why would you want to invite that back into your life? Like, you're so much better off without that. Yeah. And you should never put yourself in that position again now that you're like over that person.
To be miserable again.
You're better off just to like block them. Like, unless they have like some shit going on you want to be there for them for, fine. But like, honestly, I really believe.
But even then, I feel like just because they're going through shit, like you don't necessarily owe them. Like, but it's such like a hard line to like, cause like you want to be there for them, but a piece of you, like you shouldn't be there for someone and let someone back into their life if they were toxic and like have your happiness be the one to suffer.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I feel like misery loves company. And if someone's going through shit, like I feel like, and this isn't speaking for every single person who is crawling back into your life, but like a majority of the time, like if someone, not a majority, but some people can be miserable and they want other people around them to be miserable with them. Yeah. Because it's like, well, if I can't have a fun time, like we're going to not have a fun time together.
Yeah, exactly. Like I can't stand people like that. Like I'd rather not. I'd rather have fewer friends and like people that are more uplifting.
Yeah, I mean, we've always like, I feel like I have just like the different mindset where it's like I don't open up to people very easily, and it's like I have like a tough exterior to crack. Like I won't like if I'm meeting someone new, like I feel like you're way more like outgoing and friendly, but like to me, like it takes a while to like really like be like, okay, like I'll let you like get to know me. Mm-hmm. Would you agree? That's the same.
Yeah, I think so.
Like, that we're different in that way.
Mm-hmm. I think so. I think you're harder to get to know, but I feel like but you also just, I don't know, like I feel like when you first meet people, like you're just like more reserved because you're trying to like think like, can I trust this person?
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, I'll make my decision about whether or not I want to be friends with them. I feel like I instinctively like will go to become friends with someone first, and then if they like mess up or like do something that makes me think I don't like them, then I'll be like, all right, no, screw this person.
Yeah, because I'm guilty until proven innocent.
Exactly.
And you're innocent until proven guilty.
It's so true.
I'm the toxic one.
I also think like when like determining these things, you also have to think like, why is this person reaching out to you? Yeah. Are they reaching out to you because they are out of options? Like I know I've had friends in the past super close with, and they, not that they ended our friendship, but they just like, we stopped being friends because they made a new group of friends. They met other people that they wanted to like chill with, who they thought were cool, whatever. And then something happened where like things didn't work out with that friend group, or they realized they were bitchy and they came crawling back. And it's like, is this person only coming back into your life because they know you're the person that's always going to be there? And it almost reminds me of like an ex-boyfriend that goes off to like talk to other girls and then realizes he can't get them. And he comes crawling back and is like, all right, babe.
Like your plan B, or maybe even plan C, God forbid. Exactly.
So I think you have to think about someone's intentions. If someone is blatantly coming back into your life because like they realize like, oh shit, I had it good before, or like not even I had it good before, but like, oh, like the thing I wanted I couldn't get, so I'm just gonna like settle for this friend. I don't know. I think that's a huge red flag, and like I probably wouldn't pursue a friendship with that person.
Yeah. And I think like at least something that I'm doing in my own life and scenarios, it's like I'm evaluating how much effort they're putting into it, because it's like, if you want to come back into my life, like you need to put effort into like seeing me and like making plans. And it's like, okay, like 3 strikes you're out, like like literally, like, okay, like we're gonna make plans. If you bail once, okay, cool. If you bail again, like you're almost 3 strikes you're out. And if they're like only hitting you up when they need something or want something, that's usually a red flag.
No, so true.
Because that's like a superficial, surface level friend. I feel like over the years, you learn to understand like the different types of friends, because like in college it's so much more common to have surface level friends where it's like you just hit them up to like go out to parties and like have fun and stuff, and like they don't really know anything about you or or your life or anything. Like you can't like depend on them. Like you can't rely, like if you call them at 1 a.m. and you need them, like will they be there for you? Like will they be there for you when you need to vent? Like it's so much more common to have those type of friends that are just like your going out friends in college. And then I feel like we've reached a point, like we're literally closer to 30 than we are 20, and I just don't have space in my life anymore for like those types of friends. It's like it's quality over quantity, and I don't need going out friends, you know?
Literally. No, I 100%
We're
agree.
just lucky in the sense that it's like we're not surface level, and like also like we have that like going out aspect too. Like we have like the best of both worlds, and that's what you need to look for in a friend.
Yeah, like you want someone that like wants to go out, but like you can also chill with.
Yeah,
and like not have to do shit. I
I
can't stand people that only want to like they only want to be friends for like the social aspects, and that's it. And there's nothing more. I hate that. Like you have nothing to talk about if you're not going out to the clubs. You have nothing in common with that person.
Yeah, no. I was listening to Brianna Chicken Fry. I don't know her last name, but the Barcelona girl.
It's Chicken Fry.
Chicken Fry. Yeah. I was listening to her podcast Plan Brie Uncut, and it was one of her most recent episodes, and she was saying like you want a friend where like you can sit in silence with and feel comfortable. Yeah, like that is your person. Like those are the people that you want to surround yourself with. Like if you can't sit in a room with someone and not feel uncomfortable or awkward and like silence and just like chilling on the couch, like maybe like scrolling on your phone doing nothing, like if you can't feel comfortable, then they're not your friend.
No, that's so true. And it's also like what value do they bring? Like I feel like that's like the last thing, because in the end of the day, if someone is trying to like weasel their way back into your life, and this honestly goes for exes, family members, friends, you know, a pet, like whoever, an old teacher, like if they didn't really bring you a ton of value, and if you felt like when you were friends with them, it was like you said, it was just like surface level, or you only ever went out together, or they were only hanging out with you because you had a car on campus, like whatever the case may be, if you can look back and be like, this person showed me no value, then I feel like it probably doesn't make sense to get back into that situation. It's almost like someone gave me this illustration one day, like talking about relationships, and they were like, if you were drowning and someone like threw you a life like float to get out and to like be saved, you wouldn't jump back into the water to continue drowning. You know what I mean? Like no one would do that. And it's like, I feel like with relationships, especially friendships, people are so fast, because like when someone stops talking to you, it like hurts your feelings. People are so fast to be like, oh my God, this person wants me back. That must mean that like I have a good personality after all. It's like, it probably has nothing to do with you and everything to do with like how shitty of a person they are. So I think like the number one thing is like get comfortable with having a smaller circle. If it means the people in it like have a lot more value, you're going to have so much fun. Like we have so much fun. Yeah. And I feel like over the years, I've made my like social circles so much smaller, and I'm so much happier now than I was 5 to 7 years ago, when I felt like I had like a bunch of friends that like ended up being shit people, or the people I thought in college were going to be my best friends. Like I would be like, oh my God, you're going to be my bridesmaid someday, like crying. Like those people, they don't write and they don't text, and they're nowhere to be found. Yeah.
I think, and I'll leave on this note on friendships and whether or not you should let them come back into your life. If you break a glass frame, okay, you break a glass frame, you pick up the pieces, you try to put back those pieces, you're hurting yourself trying to do that.
Oh, wait, I kind of loving, are we like really inspirational today?
I don't know.
I'm like kind of vibing with this. Do you get that though? I do, because you're like hurting yourself trying to put it back together. That's beautiful.
Like just leave it broken.
Where'd you get that? Was that like Gandhi? It's beautiful.
I definitely didn't come up with that on my own.
You might have come up with it on your own.
No, I swear I didn't.
That was honestly amazing. If you guys like when we get really inspirational, let us know. I feel like everyone listening is like, shut the fuck up.
I know. And if you want us to go deeper, we can go deeper too.
Oh yeah, we can get really emotional. Just give us a bottle of tequila.
Literally. Honestly, I don't even need tequila. I can cry on demand.
Okay, so a lot of you guys, we put out like a Google form, which if you guys don't know how to find that, we have a Hoobie. It's almost like a link tree in our bio on Instagram. So that's where you find like Spotify, Apple, YouTube, like all the links for our podcast. We also have a form there. It's like a Google form, and you can ask us questions. So
Anonymously.
It comes through. Sorry, I'm like,
just let it out. Better
gonna
out than
die.
in.
I promise it's not COVID. Okay. So anyways, we have a Google form there, and everything comes through anonymously to us. And a lot of people have been writing in lately asking us specifically about getting into business like with a friend. So they're like, you guys have talked a lot about starting this podcast together, getting into business together. Is it a good idea? Like, is that something you recommend? So I feel like we've been getting these questions pretty consistently. We wanted to kind of talk about it because I definitely don't think that Abby and I are experts and are any people that we should be giving advice, but we're going to give advice anyways because it's our podcast and we can do whatever the hell we want.
Yeah.
This is a dictatorship.
And even though we may not be experts, there are definitely things that we've learned. I mean, our 1 year DAW anniversary is coming up next week. It's literally July 21st or 22nd. I forget.
That's so cute of
But
us.
we've been doing this business for almost a year now, and we've definitely learned a couple things. And like, I mean, I can only speak for myself, but I know like there are definitely some things I probably would have done differently had I known how to do business with a friend. But like, no regrets. We're here now.
Yeah, 100%. I think that the number one thing everyone told us to do that we did not do is to sit down and come up with a very good comprehensive business plan. We never everyone we talked to, they were like, you need to sit down, you need to have a business meeting, you need to make a business plan. We never did that. We were like, oh my God, yeah, it's so cute. We totally should do that. Like, we should like sit down and have a business meeting.
Seems like a good idea.
And we'd always sit down and just like talk shit.
There was probably like a few times when we legitimately tried to, like, we like were coming up with like, we're like, no, Shannen, I'm coming over. We're gonna do it. We're gonna take thumbnails.
We never did it.
No, we would just start like shooting the shit, and then we'd like start spiraling on like one topic that we want to talk about.
And then we start eating those Reese's things that you brought over. Those are so good.
The nuts with the Reese's. Yeah.
But yeah, so the advice that we can give you guys that we didn't ourselves do is to sit down, come up with a business plan. I think even before you get to the stage, I don't know why I forgot to mention this, but the person that you're thinking of getting into business with, keep an eye on that person. Like,
what the hell does that mean?
I would like, if I was you, if I were to do it again, I probably would buy some sort of like malware or like spyware software, maybe like creep on that person for a few weeks, like see where they go, see how much time they spend in the bathroom, see who they're talking to. Like, are they being lurky? Do they seem like they're a little lazy? Like,
I know I signed a contract with Big Night, but is it too late to get out? 'Cause I am scared.
I feel like you should do some digging. Like, you can tell a lot about a person. Like, are they someone that like when their alarm goes off, are they like getting out of bed in the morning?
No.
Like, exactly things I wish I knew about you.
I'm pretty sure you knew that. I literally told you I don't show up to events before noon.
You don't do AM, you only do PM.
Yes,
I
you
know.
actually knew that.
I know. But I feel like just do some digging, maybe hire a PI, like figure out who you're getting into business with. But all joking aside, I feel like when you're like, if you're a friend and you guys are like, oh my God, this is so cute, we should totally do this together. Like, actually take a look at your friendship and think like, are we friends that are like both
strong
super
enough to sustain?
Yes. Are we strong enough to sustain something? Are we both emotional? Are we both not emotional? Like, do our personalities often like conflict? Are we too similar? Are we too different? Like,
Right.
things
We're
like
the yin
that.
to the yang. We really are. I feel like everything, and I feel like I couldn't ask for a better business partner because we kind of just mesh very well. Like, all of her flaws are my strengths, and all of my strengths are her weaknesses.
It's beautiful.
It is.
It's like we're two halves.
It's amazing. At like 11 p.m., I'll be blowing up Shannen's phone while she's asleep with like things that I like think about for the podcast. And then at like 7, 8 a.m., she'll be blowing up my phone, and I'm like, bitch.
While she's sleeping.
Yeah, I'm sleeping.
One of us is also the other rule. One of us always has to be sleeping.
Always. We can never just be awake and productive at the same time.
It's so true.
But also, like, I'm more the emotional one, and Shannen's more of the like chill, like if I don't like, if like, let's say I don't like something,
And it's the end of the world.
I literally will like send it to Shannen. I'll be like, it's ugly. Like literally, like I'll like yeah.
Peter's like smiling right now because he's like, oh no, not my Abby. That doesn't sound anything like
like if we have a thumbnail and I don't like it, like I'll send it to Shannen. I'll be like, I hate this and that. Like, what the hell? This is the worst thing I've ever seen. Like just being overly dramatic for no reason. And Shannen is always the one to talk me off the ledge. And then 9 out of 10 times, everything ends up being okay. And it's like, why are you so emotional, Abby? But if I didn't have Shannen to like be the rational one, everyone here would probably hate me.
And if we didn't have you, then I wouldn't get anything done. Honestly, facts. I think it's so interesting though, because you also like, if you're gonna get into business with a friend, you have to think like, is your friendship, like, is one person like scared of the other person? I don't know if that makes sense to say.
Intimidated?
Like, I feel like if you did something to piss me off, I could be like you do things sometimes that annoy me, and I'll kind of be like, like shut up, and I'll like put a period because I want you to know like I'm annoyed, and I feel like you pick up on it.
I know.
And you're like, oh my god, haha, just kidding. And like you do the same shit to me, and I feel like we can just kind of put each other in our place and we just move on and we don't care. But I feel like if you don't have that relationship, like if you're with someone where like
you hold grudges,
you would hold grudges or get overly emotional, or you like the person you're with like maybe says things that would set you off, then I don't think getting into business with a friend is a good idea. It's just so delicate, and I think it usually probably should be avoided. But I think you just need to think like, can our friendship withstand this? What do you think about things like, what if you get into a fight?
Yeah, so like Shannen and I never fought before the podcast, like literally never. And we don't really fight ever now.
We don't fight a lot. We get like annoyed with each other, but we don't
get annoyed, but we don't like act. I mean, I wouldn't even say we bicker.
No,
it's literally just like, ugh.
Well, sometimes I'll just like be like, all right, like I'm done talking about this. And you're like, okay.
I'm like, all right, cool. Me too. But I remember there was this one time, I think it was like our first and only real fight.
Yeah.
Right?
It was bad.
Was it our first and only?
It was, of course. We were on a double date with our boyfriends, our poor boyfriends, and it was the night before we were supposed to record. That was the bad thing. Like, we record on Mondays. We were out on a Sunday, like having a little Sunday fun day. Everything started off really nice, and then the things took a turn for the worst, and we ended up at a PF Chang's screaming at each other. And Abby was like calling a cab home, and I was like, we're supposed to sit down and talk about the podcast, and you were like, well, I can't do it right now. And like we were like yelling at each other, and I remember storming away from the PF Chang's, like grabbed Michael, and I was like, let's get the hell out of here, like screw that bitch. Like
it was so bad, and it was literally like we were fighting over literally nothing, and it was because I was hungry. Like I was literally hangry. I hadn't ate all day, and I was just being my dramatic self, being hungry, and literally while sitting at a restaurant. And then the next day we go into record, and I think like if I could like do it differently, I would have been like, yo, like we need to address this before we go into record.
But we didn't. Well, I was almost like, I didn't want to address it before we recorded because I didn't know if you knew I was still mad at you. So I was like, I'm gonna get through this podcast.
She doesn't know that. I know that.
I was like, I'm gonna get through this podcast with a grin on my face. I want to know which podcast it was. I don't remember. I like blacked it out. I don't remember, but I want to go back and find it and see like how noticeable it was that like I was like seething with anger, but I was like laughing, and I was like, ha ha ha, Abby, you're so funny, bitch.
No, I'm gonna go back into my Venmo history to find out when I Venmo'd for PF Chang's, and then that's gonna figure out when the podcast was. But literally, like it got to the point where it's like that episode, like
Abby, remember I came in just angry. You started drinking.
So when I am like nervous, I drink, and I drink fast. That's why I almost blacked out on Mr. Man and I's first date, but I also blacked out pretty much during that recording. Like I drank so much, and like we record for an hour and I drank so much. It was a Monday night, and I drove, and Shannen had to I drove to the studio, and Shannen literally had to drive my car back to her apartment so that I could puke my brains in her apartment, and my roommates had to come pick me up.
She literally like was puking in my, like literally in the toilet in my apartment at 10 p.m. on a Monday night, like literally passes out on the floor. I'm like feeding her pretzels, and like we were literally like before that she was like, we were like crying, and we were like, I'm sorry, it'll never happen again. insane night ever. It was literally like I woke up, I was like, it is a fucking Tuesday today. That is so weird. But I remember after that happened though, I thought about it and I was like, well, shit, this isn't like a regular friendship where you get into a fight with your friend and you don't have to see them for a week. Like, we have to come in every single week and like put this business first. And
it's not just like Mondays that we have to like put on our business hat. Like we're always constantly doing shit for the podcast
all week long.
Yeah.
So I think we kind of realized, and I mean, we never like said this out loud, but I feel like it's unspoken where like Abby and I just had to reach a point where we're like, whatever happens, whatever fight we might get in, like the podcast has to come first. And obviously if you're listening to this and maybe you don't want that relationship with your friend, like it probably isn't the best idea for you to get into business. But I think one thing that we had to just kind of make a priority was like the podcast always come first. So like we could literally be like screaming and crying at each other, and I could literally have just slapped Abby across the face. But if we need to like sit down and like do stuff for the podcast, like we will do it. And I feel like that's something that we've done a pretty good job, I think, prioritizing.
Yeah, no, I think, we make the time, but I think we had to learn the hard way. Definitely. Cause that's literally, I think, our only real fight.
I'm proud of us though that we did it. Like I was like proud to know that like we could come in and do the podcast even after that fight. Cause I feel like
we
a lot
could
of
have
people
just like
done it, not done it. Yeah. We did it. It was cute.
Oh my God.
Go off. Go off, sis. Go off, sis.
Stop. You know, I hate that.
I hate it.
I know. I don't like it either. But I think that like in order to avoid that, I think it's important to set boundaries and expectations before, because Shannen and I mean, I feel like we didn't know, like, first of all, neither of us have ran a business before, and we're also like young and dumb, and we have
and wild and free.
You're so clever. We've learned a lot along the way, and we've become smart, young, independent businesswomen that don't need no man.
Hell yeah, go off, sis.
But we literally like, and I feel like our podcast has grown, like we've had so many growth spurts, and like signing with Big Night came out of nowhere, and it was like, oh shit, like now we have to really take this seriously. But even when we signed with Big Night, I kind of feel like we didn't set boundaries and expectations just yet. And I feel like that's something that you should do from day one.
Yeah, that's a huge, I think, I don't want to say like mistake, that's like a negative thing, but that's something I think we would have done had we known. Because if you look at like the situation you're in with your business partner, like likely there's one of you that's stronger at certain things, the other one's stronger at other things. Abby and I like know at this point so well, like the strengths that we have and the weaknesses that we have, like almost to a fault, to the point where like I know Abby's gonna do certain things that I just like am bad at, and like vice versa. We just like no.
It's like if I waited for Shannen to look at our DMs, like no one would ever get a response back. So it's like, and like sometimes I literally will almost feel bad. I feel like, oh, I'm like responding to too many, like, and like sometimes I'll like read a message and then like click on read so that like you can read it and like reply. Like sometimes
that's
I
cute.
do that.
I didn't know you did that. Every time I'll catch one before you get to it, and I'm like, damn, who is she?
No, I definitely already read it. I just will click unread so that you can respond. But
if you can figure that shit out beforehand though, it makes it so much easier, because you also don't want to get into like we lucked out where it's like so split down the middle, but I feel like you also don't want to get into a like relationship where one person is like carrying all the weight and the other person like isn't doing shit. Obviously that's the I think the biggest thing. But honestly, in the end of the day, sometimes you don't know till you try it. So I feel like if you're like wondering, like, should I go out? Should I do this? Will my friendship recover? I think you just have to set boundaries and like ground rules and be like, listen, there's stuff that's going to happen. We might fight sometimes. Things might not go our way. We can't really let it like affect our friendship. There's going to be some times like from a business perspective where I might do something that Abby's like, I don't like that. And like, I can't like take it personally as a friend. I have to take it as like a business person and be like, okay, she's talking about our business. She's not talking about our friendship. Like you need to like separate those
and you
two
can't
things.
let that, like you have to be able to separate the two. Like you can't be like, oh, Abby pissed me off at work today, so I'm not going to invite her to dinner tomorrow.
It's so weird.
Like you can't do that. Like you can't let it leak into your personal life, because that's just not healthy.
Then it becomes toxic.
It becomes toxic, and it's not fair, because it's like almost like working, like if you worked with a significant other.
It'd be like if you dated your boss.
Yes. Like you have to be able to separate the two.
I don't know where I got that from. But you're right. Because I feel like a corporate job, like you leave your corporate friends and you go off to like your regular friends and that you have that separation. But if you don't have that, you need to like set boundaries for sure.
Also,
Okay.
I think also though, one last thing, I think you have to establish if your friend truly has the same goal and vision as you.
True.
Because like I feel like a lot of people will start businesses like because they think it's fun and cute, but if they don't see like a long-term vision and
like
they don't have an
brand.
end goal, like this is a brand to us. Like this isn't just like a podcast. It's like this
We
is
have,
something that we have long-term goals for, and like we plan to have this in our future for as long as we can stay relevant, honestly. So if like your friend just like is like agreeing to do it just to do it with you, like you're like you have to convince her to do it with you, that's not who you want as your business partner.
That's actually such a good point that you just brought up, because that's really true. Like I feel like there's a lot of like trends, like doing a podcast is like trendy, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like you and I, like we sat down and we were like, no, we've both wanted to do things like this our whole lives. We just didn't know how to do it up until now.
Right.
And I think you're right. I think if there's someone that's like, oh my God, yeah, like I'll do this, like whatever sounds cool, like that person might not be there. Like it's hard to do. Like there's some days you wake up and you're like, shit, I don't know if I can, I have writer's block, or I don't know if I can put this together.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can sit in front of a microphone when I feel like I'm gonna cough this entire time. Like there's
literally there's been days when it's like I don't want to put on, like I don't want to be camera ready today, like I just want to wear no makeup and sweats, and like there's been times when I've done that, I've come to the studio, but like there are days when it's like it's exhausting sometimes to have to like be on. And Shannon and I, we know that we can rely on each other to show up every single Monday. And like there's been times where we have personal shit going on in our lives. Like I literally remember our second episode on the podcast, I literally had just gotten fired that day.
Oh my God, you're right. That was so awkward. We didn't talk about it. You had literally gotten fired earlier that day.
I literally had gotten fired that morning, and we had to go into the studio that night, and I for a second hesitated. Like I remember we texted Buddy and Kyle, and I was like, yeah, so I just got fired from my job.
Like, what do I do?
I was like, I don't know if I can record tonight. And then like you honestly hyped me up, and you were like, no, like let's go in there. And like honestly looking back, like I'm so happy that I did, because I pushed myself, and even though I wanted to cry the entire time, like I don't think it showed in that episode, and I brought my best that I could.
Yeah, no, 100%. It like made you feel like you could get through it.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, no, it's gonna be hard, but I think ultimately if you want it more than you want anything, like you will do it.
Yeah,
and I think you have to have two people that feel that way.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I have a little bit of a rant.
I know I feel like you've been wanting to bring this up for a lot, and it's just gotten to a point where it's like people just like need a sit down.
To sit down.
They need an intervention.
We've been talking a lot about hot girl summer, shoot your shot girl summer, having fun. Quarantine is coming to an end, at least for right now, hopefully for the foreseeable future. And people out there, they're going to parties again, they're going to clubs, girls are going on dates. So fun. So one thing that I have noticed is how people are behaving on Instagram.
Oh, on Instagram.
Prior to going out and going on dates and whatever. I feel like
people are talking about the thirst traps?
I feel we've talked a lot about the thirst traps. I think the thirst traps could be part of it, but I just have noticed like some themes on Instagram that I feel like need to either come to a halt or be like severely like readjusted.
Okay, let's hear them.
I don't think it's cute, and I don't think you're putting like your best foot out there, and I feel like when I'm scrolling through I'm seeing the same shit, and I'm like, I need to talk about this. Okay. Like it's getting out of control.
Okay, and this is coming out of place out of love, because we love you, Boston Baddies, and we want you guys to be posting the best absolute content that you can, and we don't want you to hurt your reputation or image. We want to help you.
And this is everyone. Like, I don't know if, like, what do we call them? Hometown trolls. If you're a hometown troll or a sorority sleut or a freaking
go on,
or a city, I don't even know.
City goblin.
No matter who you are, you're making these takes. I couldn't write them all down, so I wanted to pick a few that I liked, because we'd be here all night. Okay, first off, people's captions.
Yeah.
Captions
are hard though.
They're so hard. I'd rather see nothing.
Same.
Just write nothing. Just post the picture. Or just write like
what? Then writing what?
Then writing.
Then what do you hate when you see in captions?
So let me set the scene for you.
Okay.
you're scrolling through Instagram, minding your own damn business. You see a girl and she happens to have a great body. Like she's skinny. She has like all the right curves in all the right places. Like she's a teeny tiny little like baby angel, like skinny, wearing a bikini, and she's like posing, looks super cute. She makes the caption something along the lines of probably thinking about pizza or laughing about the burger I just ate. I'm like, bitch, you did not eat a freaking burger and you are not thinking about pizza. You probably haven't had pizza in like 20 years.
Okay.
You don't feel like that?
I mean, I personally haven't seen that, but I feel like had I have, I would have been like, I spot the lie.
It's always the skinniest girls who post and they're like probably just like probably about to have spaghetti after this, or LOL, like taking moments after scarfing down 3 hamburgers or something.
What about when like they like photo dump and they have food in their photo dump that you know they didn't
to like show that they ate? I almost wonder, I'm like, I feel like it's like a humble brag. I feel like you're like trying to tell the world, look how thin I am and look how pretty I am, and like I can eat like
garbage.
I can eat like shit and still look like this.
Like we get it. You have a fast metabolism.
It's like how dare you? That's disgusting. I think that's unacceptable behavior.
Okay,
it's bad. If I see you doing that on Instagram, I'm going to report your account.
Not the image, the account.
For harassment.
Okay. What else? What other captions do you hate?
You brought this up.
Which one?
The lyrics. The lyrics.
Oh, I hate all lyrics. I just hate it. I think it's cheesy. I just don't like it. But what's the one that you said that like everyone is saying?
If I see another caption, I mean, this is a little older at this point, but if I see another caption that says, I'm a little high on you and drunk on summertime.
Okay, noted. I will not.
I'm probably going to blow my brains out.
Who sings that?
It's a country. I don't even know.
I know it's a country song.
I don't know.
I actually know that song and I think it's a bop, but it's definitely overused. You're right.
There's so many girls that like every time they post a picture, it's like a different country lyric. And I'm like, I get it, but I feel like it just needs to be done.
Okay, so no song lyrics and no references to food and captions. Got it. Okay.
Yes.
Just don't post a caption at all.
I feel like if you are the type of person that would eat pizza, then you can post and say, I'm thinking about pizza. No.
I eat pizza.
No, you don't.
You and I had gluten-free pizza.
Yeah, but like you barely, like if you house pizza, like you don't house pizza.
No, I have like 2 slices.
Mm-hmm. No, you're not probably thinking about pizza.
Or I'm like, I wish I could eat more, but my stomach will hurt. Let's bring back realistic captions. Like, haha, I'm so blown in this picture, but you can't see.
I like this one girl. Well, what's that singer? Shit, she posted an Instagram earlier because I was like trying to look at some that I like to make it not all super negative, but then I like got bored and didn't do it. So they're only negative. Sorry.
At least you're honest. Maybe we'll come back with things that you could post instead.
Yeah, maybe eventually.
However, I post like twice a year, so
honestly, I'm not even saying my captions are good. Like, I don't think I've done anything that's like that noteworthy. I just don't like the
cheesy.
Some of them just like, yeah, cheesy. I don't like cheesiness. Yeah. But yeah, I feel like if you post like a lyric and you're just like, like, I don't know.
Okay, move on. What else do you hate on Instagram? Please enlighten us.
I sound like a little angry troll. I'm like, I fucking hate this and that. Okay. Overly edited photos with like 30 filters on them, where it's like your eyelashes are like stark black, but then your face doesn't have a single like pore on it, and then you have like your teeth are like as white as like
okay, so you mean like overly edited, not even like the filter. You mean
both.
Like both.
Both. Like,
okay.
Like either one. So like, let's say you post a picture and it's obvious you've like turned up like every saturation and like brightness and contrast and whatever. Like, I think that looks like trash and looks like Disneyland. I think if you're also posting photos where like your teeth are like so white to the point where like they make white look brown, and then you have nothing on your face and no nose because you've like blurred it out so much, and then you made your eyes bigger.
Wait, can you do that?
I don't know. I feel like some people's eyes look bigger on Instagram, and then like your hair, like you've like smoothed your hair, but then like something else is like really vibrant, like the scene behind you. I feel like that doesn't look that sick. you know?
It doesn't look that good.
Doesn't look that good.
Sick. No, I agree. I think that was really common in like high school and like maybe in a little bit in college. But I feel like at this point, it's kind of embarrassing if you're still doing that.
I think like I will be honest, because if you were to go back and look at my Instagram, like I have like pictures from college and high school that like are way too edited. Like
they have a ton of mine.
Really?
The ones that are like embarrassingly edited.
They're just like so like filtered. Because at the time we were like, ooh, filters. You can just throw like 6 filters on it.
Right.
That there was a time and place for it. I will admit. I think
no longer enough.
I think it's a thing of the past. I think the vibe these days is like less is more. If you're gonna put a filter on it, make it not noticeable, and maybe don't even throw a filter on it most of the time.
Okay.
This is one that has been taking the world by storm. And I it's more of like a question. So it's the parking garage photo shoots. I'd like to know who started it, where did they begin, whose parking garages are these, what are we trying to accomplish? Do you know? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do. And I don't really get it because I feel like it's not really that aesthetically pleasing.
I feel like that's like maybe the vibe these days.
I feel like people do it because they want to take a bunch of photos and they'll probably bring a bunch of different outfits to change into, but they'll go to like a garage that has like 10 floors and like no one uses the top 2. So they'll go to like the 9th or 10th floor where they know that no one's going to watch them take these selfies. Like they probably have like their ring light and their tripod and like they just like can take all their selfies in this parking garage with no shame because no one's there to watch them.
It's so weird because I'm like, do parking garages like have good lighting? Like why a parking garage of all places? So weird.
I don't know. Maybe we should try it one day.
Maybe we should try it because I feel like I'm seeing it and like all, like I feel like
are we missing out on something? I don't think so, but there's only one way to find out.
I agree because it started with like the macro influencers, like the big people, and then I feel like the micro influencers started doing it. Now I feel like everyone's taking photos in parking garages, so I'm like, are we missing something? Like, is something happening at these garages that we should know about? I'm also losing my voice.
Are you out? No, drink some.
But yeah, so that's one. I think it's more of an inquiry. Like we can like do some research and figure it out.
Please clear your throat. You're making me uncomfortable. Okay. Also, like on the note of parking garages, like posing in front of a car.
Classic. Or on top of a car.
On top of, in front of a car that's not yours. I think that's the weirdest flex that's not even a flex because it's not your flex.
It's weird. I feel like it's unless it's your car, your boyfriend's, and even if it's your boyfriend's car, I think that's weird.
Yeah, because what are you like showing off?
I think unless
your boyfriend's rich, cool.
Unless you like are a self-made millionaire and you're Kylie Jenner and you bought a Lamborghini all by yourself, like fine. I think other than that, I think it's weird.
Yeah, I agree. Just knock it off.
And then I think the last one is just the over posing or like the trying too hard. Like obviously every picture on Instagram is posed, even if like it looks like it's not posed. But when you are like literally like your back is arched, you're doing a front handspring. Your ass is out. Your like arms are
in the opposite direction of the camera.
You're like trying so hard to like not look like you're posing that you look like you're posing. I feel like that doesn't look good at all.
No. Well, I've just never been the type of person to just take pictures to just take pictures. And I feel like when you're over posing, you're doing it to like literally just post pictures just to post pictures. So I just like haven't been able to relate to that. But I've literally seen TikToks of like girls trying to like help other girls out on like poses that they can do, and it's like it's like ones where they're like do this, and I'm like I would never do that in real life.
Yeah,
like why are you posing like that? That's unnatural.
So weird. I mean, sometimes it looks good, but like there's some people that I'm like, oh my god, like literally it's too much. Like they're like crawling on the ground, and I'm like, I feel like I see that, and I'm like, I feel like you did that like for Instagram, and it makes me feel like weird about you.
I agree. So,
no more. Well, I promise next time maybe I'll come up with some ideas of like things people can do instead of just shitting on everyone.
Honestly, we have good intentions.
Our intentions are good.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all we got for this week.
That is all we got for this week.
We did not post last week, so it's been nice to be back in the studio. We did post a weekend vlog on YouTube last week, so if you haven't already, go check that out. We're going to try to start vlogging a lot more. we always get positive feedback when we do. People love to see it, especially our friend group. I know that they love being in it. They love the camera in their face.
Yeah, it's so fun for them. They're like brushing their teeth and I'm like, wait, just open like your mouth. Let me just put the camera in your mouth.
Yeah. So if you haven't, go check that out. We also posted our episode at Lolita for Sip and Dip. So I actually posted it on our Facebook group, and a lot of people have asked us to do a lot more spicy margaritas. They want to see us rate them. I forgot to tell you that.
Oh, damn.
I know you don't check Facebook. It's
spicy. Okay.
Yeah. So make sure we're also going to start posting all of our Sip and Dip. We have 9 episodes out, and we're going to put all 9 episodes and all future episodes out on YouTube on a playlist so that we have one central location for all you guys to find our Sip and Dip episodes. So let us know what you guys want to see next.
Yes, and I know we've been promising it for a really long time, guys, but we promise we do have some more merch coming you guys' way. You'll be getting more information about it in the coming weeks, and we will also be kicking off another contest specifically around YouTube and subscribing to YouTube and everything like that. So we'll be letting you know about exciting updates we have about contests, merch, upcoming Sip and Dips, and upcoming episodes. But thank you guys so much for tuning in every single week. We really appreciate it. Thank you for bearing with me while I'm getting over my cold. Thank you to everyone in the studio for bearing with me while I'm getting over my cold.
Thanks, Peter.
Appreciate you guys.
All right, follow us on Instagram. It's at @drinksafterwork_. TikTok at @drinksafterwork _, and we will see you baddies next week.
See you baddies next week. Woo!
Yes.